Hi, this is Conrad Zimmerman of FistShark Marketing. If you dig the show, we hope you'll consider supporting us with a small monthly contribution through Patreon. For less than the price of a massage parlor handjob, you can help us continue to provide you with our own sticky situations. Just visit patreon.com/FistShark or click the big Patreon button at fistshark.com for more details. And thanks for listening.
Okay, so I've just been on the phone with that obscene caller again.
Oh, again? Like, he calls every day now.
It's an absolute joke. I've been trying to find a way to deal with the situation, but when you represent someone who's an obscene caller, you're going to get a lot of calls from an obscene caller.
No way around that, I guess. You're obviously...
Risk of the job.
But normally, you know, I mean, as with other clients, you get a call once a week, maybe once a month, a check-in. Like, this guy's calling every day, sometimes multiple times. And, like, is he that desperate?
Well, 50% of the time he's phoning just to masturbate.
I figure that's part of it. Yeah, that's the gig.
I mean, he's an obscene caller. That's part of what he does. But those times when he's phoning up and not having a cheeky wank, he is very concerned about his representation here. I've got to ask, because I inherited this one from Paulson, why did we sign up an obscene phone caller as one of our clients? Why are we representing an obscene phone caller? Like, I checked the records and it's not anyone else. It's not someone who happens to be an obscene caller. It's not Val Kilmer or anyone like that. This is their job. This is what they do.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah. It's
not like a normal telemarketing gig or anything. You know, like cold calls and sales, that's pretty common. But, I mean, is he selling anything while he's doing that?
Well, from what I've heard, he can sell one hell of an orgasm.
Believable, huh? It's a believable eruption.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's literally flogging his shaft to the point of issue.
Right.
So yeah, he's good at it. I mean, when you look for a nuisance caller, he calls a lot. He is a nuisance. And as far as obscenity goes, he'll run the gamut. He'll say the C. He'll actually say the C and the F. So he's got that locked down. I've had a lot of obscene phone calls over the years. Hell, I've made a couple, but I'm impressed by him. I will say when Paul saw him, or at least heard him, I understand being impressed by the talent. I just think that in the year 2017, having an obscene phone caller on the books is just a little old-fashioned. That's my main problem with it. I think if this was the 90s, yeah, I could have done something with this. I could have promoted an obscene phone caller as some sort of service, some sort of gimmick, some sort of product. But these days, people are looking elsewhere when they want to ruin someone's life remotely.
Or even just have their lives ruined. I mean, you know, the times have changed.
Yeah. There's a lot of outsourcing going on. That's the problem. This is why I'm getting so many calls. Like Jenkins here, he phones me up. He's worried about how his work, his job is sort of redundant now. And time to face reality, it sort of is. That's the march of technology. It puts people out of a job. I get this guy, Jenkins, he phones me up. He thinks it's like Mexican people who are like taking his obscene phone calls away. And I'm trying to tell you, it's not that. It's automation. It's always been automation.
Right.
A kid now can just key in a few digits and get a SWAT team to your house. They don't need some guy rolling his foreskin back over a phone, which I should point out, he uses a landline.
Oh, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But you'd think you'd get a burner or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's 2017, for Christ's sake.
I mean, send an email.
Right?
Give someone a dick pic on Facebook. I mean, don't do these things, obviously, but if you are in the business of just being a horror on legs, then there are other ways to go about it. And I've tried to explain this to him, but he is steadfast in what he's doing. He says this was his dad's job. It was his dad's job before his dad's job. He didn't say it like that. That was poor syntax.
His father did obscene phone calls. His father's father did obscene phone calls. His father's father's father.
No.
No?
No, actually remembering, it was good syntax. No, his dad had the job, then just gave himself his job again before letting the son. It's just, he's just the next generation. It doesn't go back any further than that. His dad was just a total pervert.
Right. Oh, okay, I see. But still, 2 generations in the business, a family business, it can be hard to walk away from that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to just throw your matches on a legacy,
Right.
And I feel like, I mean, my heart goes out to him. He has spent a long time mastering this craft. He's very good at it, but it's just not a skill that's in demand anymore. I mean, I tried to explain to him what a Twitch TV chat room was, and he stopped wanking. He was so confused.
That's particularly telling.
As a testament to how professional he is, though, because he stopped, but he came hands-free.
It is really, it's sad to see, the march of progress leave some people by the wayside.
Robots make cars now.
Right. It's just the way it is. Robots are taking over everything. I mean, you and I both know the threat that robots pose to humanity.
Well, obviously, yeah. We've got robots to make cars or be marketing executives, and we've got Twitter. If you want to tell someone that you want a picture of their feet, or if you want to know what someone's wearing, social media has taken over from that. Jenkins is a relic of the past.
Now you can tell someone, I have masturbated to you, and the technology is such that you can just also attach a photo of them with your semen on it over the same technology, right? You can't do that on the phone. You can't send the visual.
No, I mean, during the course of just that one sentence you said, I've already sent 10 of these pictures to people.
Mm-hmm. You can't compete with that kind of progress. But I will say there is always, whenever we see these sort of dramatic changes in manufacturing and industry and creation and art, there's always a market that comes up for people who miss the old days, who have that sort of nostalgia for the days gone by. And I don't know, maybe it's possible that we could market this service as a bespoke harassment, something premier, something that's handcrafted and artisanal.
Yeah, I'll be with you in 1 second. I just remembered that I did a cum tribute to Eric Estrada, and he's got to see that. Sorry, okay, I'm back with you. You were saying something about harnessing this in a new direction?
Well, yeah, there's got to be people out there who long for the simpler times, right? When you would get a phone call and you wouldn't hear who it was at the other end. It'd just be some heavy breathing, some panting, maybe a little bit of groaning and a little, you know what I mean?
Funny, Eric's the only one who actually likes them. Okay, so you were saying some sort of bespoke, really a more one-to-one situation.
Yeah.
You're thinking about actually pairing up people who want the experience with people providing the experience.
Well, I mean, I think we can assume that everyone wants the experience.
Eric Estrada is a thought leader, and he's loving the cum tributes.
The cold call system, I mean, it's tried, it's true, it's classic.
Right.
I think the real trick is finding a way to monetize it, right? We started out with the cold call marketing system that he's familiar with, but at the tail end of the call, we then, you say, this is, if you liked this, if you enjoyed this, why not sign up for the service and you can get, calls every week.
Nice.
It'll be a fun little surprise.
Or at the very least, we could get him to just name drop the next Thor movie after he's come, and then sign up a deal with Marvel or something.
Oh, we could double dip.
Alternate advertising streams here. Like, why not incorporate ads into your obscene phone calls?
Exactly. Oh, that's such a great idea.
What if I got him to say sham wow when he climaxed?
Oh, I'm sure we could get the as seen on TV people to cough up money for that in a heartbeat.
I mean, right? And I could probably get him to say anything. Just right on the tip of it. Just, hot dog Pringles.
Well, I think a big part of the problem is that the issue is very, very complex, right?
It's complicated. It's complicated.
There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of things you have to juggle, plates you've got to spin, that sort of thing. And I was surprised, actually. I was really surprised to find out how challenging it actually is.
Well, that's the thing about healthcare that people don't really take into account. Everyone thinks it's easy. Everyone has always said it's really easy, but it's not until you actually look at healthcare that you realise it's actually pretty complicated, everyone, okay? Come on.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, it's still kind of a shock that first time you find out, right?
Of course. Who could tell? You look at healthcare and it seems so simple. Person gets sick, person gets well. Medicine is easy that way. But it's actually that there are costs involved. There are people involved. There are illness. Did you know there are more than 5 diseases?
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, see, because I thought it was measles, chickenpox, the common cold, cancer, and AIDS. And that was it, right? It's just those 5.
No, there's hypoglycemia.
What?
I have no idea. I thought it was some sort of a New York drink.
Well, that's just, how do you catch it?
I don't know. I don't know anything about medicine.
Well, I'm starting to get a little worried. What if I'm hypoglycemic?
I mean, we probably all are by now. I mean, I only learned today, looking through the many, many pamphlets that I've been given, that frequent drug use is apparently a problem.
That can't be right.
It's in the text.
But it's only when I'm not on the drugs that I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel.
Right. Right now, I feel normal.
Right.
That's because I've done about 5 lines before we started the meeting. But apparently, no lines is good. More than no lines is bad.
This is all very, very confusing.
It's complicated. Healthcare is more complicated than at least 3 puzzles.
You see, I have always just sort of stuck to the philosophy that as long as you do good things in your life, your healthcare is taken care of. Like, you're fine. You don't have to worry about healthcare.
Well, it's always been a very simple procedure for me. I get sick, I pay a man to fix it.
Right.
Why doesn't everybody do that?
Right? It seems so straightforward. It's an exchange of money for services. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very simple. You have your money here, you give the man your money, and he makes you well.
Sometimes I get sick on purpose just to give my money something to do.
Right?
I will invite children to sneeze in my face.
You gotta put that money to work. Otherwise, it's just sitting there. And what's the good of even having it?
You gotta spend money to make money.
Right, you know?
And considering I get a kickback every time I refer someone to my local doctor, and technically I count as my own referral, don't ask me how it works. Healthcare is complicated. Do not get anybody to inquire about it. Turns out it's very beneficial for me. I love the health industry, and I wish that so many people would stop trying to mess with it.
Oh, tell me about it. And, well, there's such a bureaucracy at work.
Red tape everywhere.
That's because of the lawyers.
Who knew? Who knew?
Oh, no, nobody knew. Nobody knew. But now, I mean, now that we see it, nobody seems to have a direction. Nobody seems to understand how to fix healthcare.
There was that idea we talked about a few years ago, and I think now might be the time to deploy it, because I'm looking at too many chefs.
Right.
Over one boiling pot, and the pot has the rod of Asclepius drawn on it, and the people around the pot are wearing white coats, but not the white coats of chefs, the white coats of doctors because this is a medical metaphor.
Right, okay,
Different
yeah.
hats. Swap out the chef hat for those headbands with the round bits of metal on the front.
With the reflector.
Yeah. And glasses for smartness. Get rid of the curly moustache. Glasses for smartness. And then we've got too many docs spoiling the broth of health.
I think I see where you're coming from. You're saying that there's too many people involved in this process of creating healthcare.
Yes, that's exactly it. I'm very, very, very small government, small everything. I don't think anything should be too big.
No. Well, I mean, except for our profits. I mean, those should be big. There's no limit to how big those should be.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm talking specifically about numbers.
I mean, we're not communists, is what I'm saying.
The amount of money we make can't be quantified numerically. I mean, especially when you consider a lot of the wealth we have that is more political or blasphemous than financial.
But I see where you're coming from, because here healthcare legislation it's made by lawyers, and you need lawyers because that's what they do. They do laws.
Well, yeah, I mean, how else are you going to pass legal bills? How else are you going to make the law of the land without the land of the law?
You have to have people who understand health insurance, because that's what the whole thing is about. And you can't count on the lawyers to know about health insurance, right?
Well, no. You have the lawmakers making the law. You have the health insurers bringing advice about health. So we have the law and the medicine covered. Health insurance companies know about medicine. Lawmakers know about law. Who's the odd one out here? Who's the fifth wheel?
Oh, yeah, it's clearly doctors. I see it now. It's so obvious. I mean, here, what do these people actually bring to the table? They're superfluous. We already have the insurers that understand healthcare, fulfilling in that role.
And they have many lobbyists who, I can speak from personal experience, care very, very deeply about the issue. They're very, very passionate. Most doctors I've spoken to seem the opposite. Not a lot of passion at all. Get rid of them.
Very clinical, you could say.
Yeah, very clinical. Very clinical. A health insurance lobbyist, they smile. They often have free biscuits. And lots of money.
Oh, yeah. No, they are not shy about paying for the lap dance,
Yeah, a doctor wants paying. Health insurance companies don't want paying. I've never, and I can tell you this much right now, I have never gotten a bill from a health insurance company for surgery.
No, never.
If anything, they've helped me pay for surgeries before.
Exactly.
Altruistic like the NHS.
They're the sort of people you'd want to have a beer with, right? Not like a doctor. Doctor's all stuffy and elitist.
A doctor would try and distill the beer to make medical alcohol to, treat an infection.
Right.
That's how doctors do drinks. They make alcohol for infections, probably. I've never seen a doctor, but that's probably what they do. I've seen the TV.
Apart from Dr. Nightscream, of course.
Well, I mean, he's not technically a medical doctor. I mean, he's got a license, but it's from no country I recognize.
Neither you nor the UN, apparently.
Apparently not. Apart from that one guy at the UN who just went deathly cold. But more to the point, if we close down every single hospital in the United States of America, which, let's face it, are not doing enough for taxpayers, the amount we could save and then pump into the health insurance industry so that the middleman's cut out and people are getting their health insurance and their health from the same source, I think we've done the American people a great, great service.
You're talking about consolidation of private industry.
Consolidation of private industry.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, one-stop shopping. Everybody loves that. I see absolutely no wrong way to go about this, because those doctors are just slowing us down. Because, I mean, really, when you look at it, what's the real distinction between a doctor and a health insurer?
Well, the doctor has no say in how medical law works.
That's true. That's true. And the doctor is restrained. Like, they have the Hippocratic Oath. They have that shackled to their leg.
Ugh, boring. You know? Like old-fashioned.
Oh, I'm going to treat the patient in front of me. Oh, I need to think in the best interest of my patient. Where's the profit in that?
Where's the advances in that? Oh, ethics. Oh, human rights violations. Let's have a look at what Dr. Nightscream's been able to do without all of that. Let's have a look at our man Robert with his metal fucking eyes.
Metal eyes and tumors.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to introduce metal eyes into an organic head, there's going to be some issues. Tissue rejection and everything, and some inevitable tumorage.
I really wish it had gotten to his vocal cords.
That would have been nice.
Every other part of his body is overrun with cancer, and yet he's still able to groan.
Like I do when I see what these fat cats in Washington are up to, right?
FistShark Marketing is Jim Sterling and Conrad Zimmerman. Theme music by Ben Rama. Additional music by Alazar Chan. Our editor is Austin Yorsky. Get more episodes and learn how to support the show at FistShark.com. Follow us on Twitter at FistShark for more of our exploits. Complaints can be forwarded via email to fistsharkmarketing@aol.com. And remember, your opinion really matters. Goodbye.